Good afternoon, everyone. It's Louise here from Eleanor Grace. So I did promise a little video on what we're going to be doing in terms of the Charles Rennie Mackintosh-inspired stitch along. Now, I'm still working through some of the details here, and I want to say that it's very much sort of inspired by rather than, trying to recreate, as you can see from this lovely book I've had for many, many years. Instead of actually really recreating his designs, it's more to do with being inspired by his work. So I've got a couple of pages here I've just picked out with some lovely images to give you an idea of the sort of things we're looking at. So for those that don't know of Charles Rennie Mackintosh, he was a Scottish artist that was working around the 10th century, and he was born, I think, in sort of 1868, something like that, in Glasgow, and very much inspired by what he saw, which was the docks and shipbuilding and those sort of things. And he was working as an apprentice architect, as well as in the evenings going to the Glasgow School of Art to learn all sorts of types of art. And he's very versatile. You could look him up. He doesn't just do this style, but this is what he's really well known for, and what he's perhaps wasn't appreciated enough for in his time. He was a very very important influence on particularly Art Nouveau, which came after, towards the end of his time. And yet, it's only now we're really appreciating his work. He worked a lot with sort of stylized flowers, like his roses are very famous, and with a mixture of curves and straight lines, and reasonably bold colors. So that's the sort of thing we're going to be looking at. I'm going to give you another couple of pictures here to look at, just to see the different things in his style. Like this design. This was a sort of tulip and lattice design. He has some other sort of stylized tulips, and being not only a Charles Rennie Mackintosh fan, but also a big fan of flowers, I'm looking for us to sort of be inspired by this and to make something really pretty. And I'm hoping that we're going to be looking at making things that we can applique onto something else, or that we can make into a little sort of project of its own. And it's totally up to you as to what you want to do and what parts you want to engage with. But this will be running from the middle of January onwards for a month or so. Let me show you one of his paintings here. That very much inspired. You can see, if you're a fan of Art Nouveau at all, you can see a lot of influence from this sort of work that he did. Really beautiful pictures. If you do get a chance to go to Glasgow, that's where the majority of both his architecture and his work is. But there are other places. And finally, just to show you another one of his rose windows. So there's some lovely places you can go to in Glasgow where you can see his work, even the furniture. He designed the furniture, all the stained glass. So yeah, these are these are lovely pieces of work. In fact, this one is actually in Italy, but there's lots of his work that you can go and see if you're interested. And we're going to be sort of inspired by that, but not following 100%. We're just going to sort of enjoy learning a little bit more about him and using his style to make something lovely. So just wanted to give you an idea of the colours and what you will need for this. Now, I have got I can get together a limited number of packs that will include sort of things that you need. Talking about colours, very much he did work a lot in sort of pinky reds, and what we need for our projects is a range of colours. If I show you one of the little ones that I've just been doodling about with, it's inspired by, not not really 100% one of his roses. Um, but it was putting together different shades and going from the palest sort of pink to, you know, really bold and dark shades. So that's what we'll be looking for. I did put in here, because I probably will do a bit more stitching on here, something with a pattern here. But what I would say, if you can get together as many fabrics as you can, different weights, can be silk, can be satin, chiffon, can be, you know, cotton. Batiks are brilliant because they sort of have a pattern, but the pattern doesn't, it's not a regular pattern. You don't want something with too much pattern on it. Obviously this gold bit's no good, but the rest of that is lovely. So putting together a little mixture of colours that complement each other. So we did some work on the colour wheel, but that are, you know, in different shades, in different fabrics, and without a clear pattern. So ideally, you know, something pretty plain. As I say, batiks are really good. I'll show you a few more examples of that. This was me just doodling around really, and what I think probably, you know, we're going to be doing is we're going to use it as a launching pad, but we're going to add our own little extras. So I feel like I still want to do a bit of stitching on this, but I was just trying different stitches for the sort of almost stained glass part of it in order to attach the pieces together, because some of these pieces are quite small. I've tried herringbone stitch on here, which actually worked really well. This was the third stitch I tried because the other two didn't work at all. So I've been having fun with that. I got a little one here that I'm sort of fiddling about with at the moment. Again, it was just sort of trying to partly recreate, but also just to do my own take on his sort of stained glass approach. So I used a chain stitch on here, which is worked fairly well, but again, I'm using very small pieces of fabric here, so this is a little bit fiddly, but you know, these are sort of ideal sizes to add on to another project, or just to jazz up, you know, something that you've got that's plain, like a tote bag or something like that. So these are the sort of ideas. Pinks, so pinks and going into sort of a soft red. You know, these are the sort of colours he used a lot. If you can get a variety of plain pieces, you don't need large offcuts, as you can see from these. You only just need little snippets. And then other colours that he used quite a lot were blues and greens and yellow. And so again, I've got some batiks here. I've got lots of different batiks in my collection. So I will be doing a handful of packs with some nice sort of good offcuts of batiks. You know, plain cotton. This is an old pillowcase. Again, it's a plain fabric, so those are sort of, you know, really important for these pieces. And we want a range of colours of shade, you know, and tone and tint. So you want light and medium and really dark. So the same with the threads as well. You want a mixture of light and dark for these sort of colours. So greens and blues are really good. And his were usually fairly bold colours, sort of, you know, medium-ish sort of upwards. We're going to probably be a little bit loose on that and do some lighter colours as well. Yellow, he did use quite a lot of yellow. Again, I've got some nice, this is a good example of a print that sort of would be okay, because it's reasonably in the background. It's not too jazzy, it's not too obvious a print, but you don't want something too busy. So if you've got any you know, offcuts of again, we've got a bit of printed cotton that looks very batiky there. Got some linen and in all different shades of yellows there, and a bit of cotton there. So those are the sort of colours you want to get. In addition, because I've had a hankering to work with purple for a while. I do love purple, and it's not a colour that I have used as much as I should have done. Got some, some really ethereal little offcuts here. So again, some batiks, and I'm going through my over the next few days I'm going to be going through my boxes of fabrics to get some plain purples, and to get some more greens and blues out. So those are the sort of things you want. So we need a bit of sort of light and shade. So from a sort of soft to medium colours right up to a dark. I mean, this purple is, I don't even know if it's going to come out looking as it does on this, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a real plum, a sort of dark plum shade, absolutely beautiful. So I will be including some threads and some offcuts of fabric in the packs, and otherwise all you need is the usual, a bit of felt, which I will also include some in the pack, and a backing fabric, so a plain cotton or linen as a sort of base layer, as we always use. The other thing you will need is some black or very dark charcoal thread. So in this case, I don't actually have any in the cotton pearly because it's not a colour I work with very often. So I've used the standard anchor thread 403 black for this. So I can't remember what the number is in DMC. Is it 810 or something like that? So yeah, a black or a very dark charcoaly colour. Again, if you don't want to stick to that, you don't want to use black, I might do some others with some slightly different colours. What I was just trying to recreate here is an illusion of the sort of stained glass sort of, I think you call it leading, just to give that sort of effect. But we're going to play around with this and have fun and make our sort of own versions. So I hope that is something that you're going to look forward to. We're going to start in the new year, as I say, the middle of January, but I will be releasing some more information over the next couple of weeks. Obviously, we're going into Christmas now, so I am going to start winding down at the end of this coming week, to take some time off, obviously spend it with family, but we will have a really lovely year of I've got so many ideas for next year, and that includes for the membership as well. So if you haven't already, you can join my membership. There are two different levels, and I am going to do a separate video on that. The $6.99 level is the one where you will get everything. You'll get all the videos, you'll get exclusive member content, you'll get extra workshops. I'm committing to do one workshop a month, which will be sometimes a big workshop and sometimes a smaller one, and sort of alternating those. You'll get extra videos, you'll get extra content. There is also a $2.99 level, which is both in UK prices. That you do get some extra content. You get to shape things a little bit, all of which you get on the higher level as well, but you don't get access to the extra videos, so you won't get the extra workshops. And I'm really committed to making this something that's really good value for money. So if you are interested, do sign up, or do send me a message if you want to find out a bit more. But I will be doing a separate video on that. So hope you've enjoyed having a look at the little these are little things I'm playing around with. So we will have a bit of fun, and it's using a lot of colour, and that's what I wanted to work with, playing with colour. And Charles Rennie Mackintosh, to me, was one of the people who did that so cleverly, but also using shape and form and using some different stitches, and us just playing around a bit. So I hope you look forward to that in the new year. Take care. Bye.